If you've seen the Disney Plus documentary Timeless Heroes, Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford, you may have noticed a shot of a bunch of Indiana Jones fans and cosplayers posing in front of the infamous Yoda water fountain located at Lucasfilm headquarters in San Francisco. Those fans are part of a group called California Jones, a California-based Indiana Jones fan club consisting of cosplayers, artists, and fans dedicated to cinema's greatest archaeologist and adventurer. Last year, in celebration of the release of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, a number of them went on a Fortune and Glory tour, a bus tour that visited all the filming locations for the original Indiana Jones trilogy that were located in the San Francisco Bay Area, the home of George Lucas and his empire Lucasfilm. I was actually invited to attend this incredible experience last year, but unfortunately, due to scheduling issues, I was unable to attend. But after a lot of success, another Fortune and Glory tour was planned, labeled Raiders of the Golden State Fortune and Glory Tour. This tour was scheduled for May 17th through May 19th, promising 3 days of location scouting in the San Francisco Bay Area. There was no chance I was going to miss out again this year. With Dial of Destiny still fresh on many people's minds, 2 big Indiana Jones anniversaries this year, and with a new video game on the horizon, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle scheduled to come out this December, there's no telling if another year going forward is going to have this much Indiana Jones on the public consciousness, seeing that Lucasfilm always tends to neglect promoting Indiana Jones in favor of promoting Star Wars. This could very well be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, so I was very eager to jump into the adventure. Meeting up with 3 other indie fans, we carpooled from Southern California all the way to San Francisco. As someone who hasn't been to San Francisco since 2003, it was so thrilling to finally be back in the location, passing by iconic locations such as Alcatraz or the Golden Gate Bridge. Day 1 started as a meetup at San Francisco at the Treasure Island Administration Building, which stood in for Berlin Airport in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Many of us took pictures and even cracked our ribs in a grassy area that was nearby. But the highlight of this spot was one fan brought a motorcycle that was used in Last Crusade. I was thrilled to seize this moment for a photo op with Dad. One member of our group happened to have a motorcycle's license and gave us fellow indie fans an opportunity to ride with him in the Henry Jones Sr. seat. It was such a thrilling way to start an incredible weekend. After going inside Treasure Island briefly, we all grabbed a shot and did a toast for the incredible weekend we were about to have, as well as posed for some pretty cool pictures. We then boarded the bus headed straight to Chinatown. Specifically, we headed for Ross Street, which stood in for Shanghai 1935 for several shots of the iconic chase scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. We visited Fortune Cookie Factory and actually got to see them as they were making fortune cookies. The group was even handed some special custom-made cookies with selected Indiana Jones quotes as fortunes. After exploring Chinatown for photos, eating, and looking around, we boarded back on the bus for what was, for my money, the highlight of the entire trip. Thanks to some special connections and friends California Jones has made with Lucasfilm over the years, we were fortunate enough to get invited to Lucasfilm headquarters. Once I saw that iconic Yoda water fountain, I started getting chills. I couldn't believe I was really there in person to see it. Now, Lucasfilm is not typically ever open to the public, ever. Aside from some members of the press on special occasions, outsiders don't manage to get in often, and it's even rarer that they actually get a tour. So the fact we actually got invited in and got a tour was an incredible moment. Now, while we did get some footage of the Yoda fountain, and the main office, which included a statue dedicated to King Kong special effects artist Willis H. O'Brien. We were told that once we passed the office and actually went into Lucasfilm headquarters, video was not permitted, only still photos. Once we were told that no videos were allowed, we were given a special tour of the entire building, which included props from not just every Star Wars movie and TV show, and not even just all 5 Indiana Jones films, but we also got to see props that were used in the many films that Industrial Light and Magic has worked on over the years, including E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Back to the Future, The Rocketeer, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Jurassic Park, The Mummy, and Pirates of the Caribbean, just to name the few of the dozens of projects Lucasfilm has worked on through Industrial Light and Magic. I was particularly thrilled to get a picture with the props from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, particularly a picture with steamrolled Judge Doom, which was once reported on social media as hanging next to the bathroom. He's no longer hanging by the bathroom. He's since been moved to next to some of the other props from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This lifelong movie buff couldn't get enough of the place. We even had an opportunity to shop at the company store, which included merchandise that could only be found at Lucasfilm headquarters. I personally couldn't pass up an opportunity to buy a limited Marshall College t-shirt. Before we headed out, the group was even handed a free Indiana Jones Marvel comic, as well as an opportunity to get a giant Temple of Doom poster or a smaller Last Crusade Pepsi poster. I chose Temple of Doom. After getting a big group photo op in front of the Yoda fountain, we visited San Francisco City Hall, which was the filming location for Washington, D.C. at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where Indy and Marion walked down the steps. We took a ton of photos in costume and got plenty of memorable reactions from couples getting married to 16-year-olds celebrating their quinceañera. One couple getting wedding photos actually asked the entire group of us to get in a photo op with them in one of the funniest photo ops of the entire trip. After getting all the photos and video we needed, we went back to the parking lot near Treasure Island, where we were given a ton of goodies from shirts to posters. It was such an incredible trip, and it was only day 1. Day 2, May 18th, we headed over to San Anselmo, a small town in Marin County, up north of San Francisco. We met up at Imagination Park, where in 2013, Lucas donated statues of Yoda and Indiana Jones sculpted by Lucasfilm employee Lawrence Noble. After getting photo ops with the statues and cracking the whips at the park, we explored a number of the buildings and shops from San Anselmo. This included a toy shop, Susan's Storeroom, which had a prop from Raiders of the Lost Ark. As walking to this toy shop, a local resident even noticed my costume and pointed out the location that was the original Lucasfilm building, where George Lucas actually wrote down the scripts for Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And it was at this parking lot where Harrison Ford first rehearsed cracking a whip. At about 11 o'clock, we boarded a bus and drove 16 miles to Mount Tamalpais hiking trail. This was where the motorcycle chase from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was shot. We hiked to a photo op of where the split road that could be seen in the movie was. After that group photo op, another hiker and I even happened to split up from the group, and we took a little hike through the entire trail, which is where the entire motorcycle chase was filmed, where the jousting and most of the chase took place. After the hike, the group met up at a house that was used as Indiana Jones's house in Raiders of the Lost Ark. The owner of the house is actually a fan and even had a fertility idol displayed in front of her house. She was actually really nice and generous, as she actually appreciated the attention the film had brought to her house over the years, and actually let us take as many photos as we wanted, answered all of our questions, and even let us inside the house. We concluded the day by going to Hangar 9, which was used as Nang Tao Airport, where Art Weber helps Indy Williams Short Round board Lao She's plane. Two of our cosplayers even dressed up as Indy in his white tuxedo and as the Dan Aykroyd character Art Weber for a memorable photo op. After a group photo, we headed back to Imagination Park to conclude the tour. A few of us even got to meet the designer of Imagination Park, and he even showed us a picture that he had gotten with Harrison Ford and George Lucas. Finally, on Sunday, May 19th, Day 3, we visited the Oakland Aviation Museum. This is a really cool museum with a number of great exhibits for both children and adults. But the highlight of the museum was seeing the waterplane that was used for the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where Indy boards for his trip to Nepal to seek out the Staff of Ra and to reunite with his long-lost love Marion, only to be followed by Toad. Being inside the same plane as Harrison Ford was really cool. It made me wish waterplanes such as this were still being flown on a regular basis. After we took a tour of the plane, 6 of us at a time, we eventually got a big group photo op in front of the plane. We then proceeded to lunch and a raffle, where prizes of various art and props created by Indiana Jones fans all over the world were donated. I happened to win a couple of really cool pictures that were created by artists Jacqueline Lacombe and Andrew Newell. I even got a mold of the gun that was used in the chase scene in Temple of Doom. While the Oakland Aviation Museum marked the end of the tour, that was not the end of the trip. On Monday, a small group of us actually got to go back to San Anselmo, where we got to eat at one of George Lucas's favorite restaurants, Hilda's Coffee Shop. For dessert, we headed across the street to the Gelato Shop, another one of George's favorite restaurants, where they served some very fun and appropriate flavors. After getting some last-minute group photos, our group started carpooling back to Southern California. Overall, this was one of the most fun and amazing experiences of my life. Special thanks for Eugene Shin for putting so much hard work into creating this incredible event. You can follow his art at Lost Delta Outpost on Instagram and Etsy. You can also follow the cosplay group California Jones on Instagram to be on up-to-date for the next California-based Indiana Jones meetup. While Lucasfilm is not open to the public, a lot of these places that we went to are. So if you live close to the Bay Area or are planning to visit the Bay Area, be sure to check out all of these filming locations so you can have your own adventure. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please remember to hit like and subscribe.